Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gamers Hall. I'm Chris, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the spell changes they've made in ONE D&D. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first spell we're going to talk about is the Aid spell. Now, the one that you got in the PHB was you could choose 3 creatures, and their current maximum HP as well as their current HP goes up by 5. It stayed this way for 8 hours. Meaning, if for some reason they got knocked down, you could heal back up and heal back up to whatever let's say you had 10, well now you have 15. So you could start back up on that. You could always go back up to that. The new version, you can target 6 creatures. You give them 5 temporary hit points. And anytime you upcast this spell past 2nd level, you add another 5 temporary hit points to them. And it doesn't have an 8-hour duration, so you could cast this right at the beginning of the day. Hey, I'm going to pop a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th level spell, and you guys all get this many temporary hit points, and it's to 6 creatures. I like the old one better because it increased your hit point maximum, and if you were fighting creatures that lowered your HP, this could help a lot. I mean, granted, it's just a little bit, but I like that it gave you 5 hit points and increased the maximum, whereas this one's just saying, hey, here's a bunch of temporary hit points. Granted, there's nothing wrong with that. It's still good. I think they took a spell that some people may have said was complicated and probably just didn't use a lot, and said, hey, what's a way we can make it a little easier and less complicated? Let's just make it so they give temporary hit points. So, you don't have to deal with the person's maximum HP going up. It's just, hey, here's temporary hit points, and we'll double the amount of creatures you can give it to. So from 3 to 6, and hey, everything gets 5 temporary hit points, and then it just goes up from there, which I don't think it's bad. It's good. I like the original one better, but at the same time, this one's not bad, so it's decent. All right, so the next spell we're going to talk about is Banishment, and so far, still a 4th level spell. The only difference to the main stuff about the spell, like it still has the same casting time, still has concentration, the same duration, all that stuff is still the same, except for the original spell is 60 feet. The new spell is only 30 feet. One of the things they added in the new version is that the creature can willingly fail the save. And before, if you failed to save, you got sent back to whatever the native plane you were from. The new one, you get sent to a demi-plane. And while you're in this demi-plane, you are incapacitated, meaning you can't take any actions. The only thing really you can do is move. Alright, at the end of each of the creature's turn, they can repeat the saving throw. When they finally pass the saving throw, then they return back to the exact same square they were in. If that square is occupied by something else, they return to the nearest unoccupied square. In the original book, the creature was banished for the full minute, then they were banished to whatever plane they were originally from. Now, with this iteration, if the spell lasts the full minute and the creature is celestial, aberration, elemental, fey, or fiend, the target doesn't return. It is instead transported to a random location on a plane associated with its creature type. So it's a little bit different. It's kind of still the same. They definitely cleaned up the wording a lot. And also, when a creature gets transported to their plane, they can't get attacked while they're there, because this is a different, it's a demi-plane. So it's kind of just a place that has nothing there. Now it's time to do guidance. And with the new iteration of this spell, you're doing it as a reaction, and the trigger is whenever one of your allies fails an ability check within 10 feet of you. So someone fails an ability check, you use your reaction, cast guidance, and that person can roll and add a d4 to the check. And because of this, I believe in the test version 2, if you guided someone, then you had to take a short or a long rest before you could use guidance on them again. They've taken that away. So now just full on guidance, and you can just keep doing it and keep using your reaction to someone failing this and just keep it going. Grant, I like this one much better. It's a reaction as opposed to just an action, because I mean, people are just spamming guidance all the time, and as a DM, it does kind of get annoying. So, but using it as a reaction, I like that a lot better. I think this is a good fix to the spell, and I think it's going to be a lot more enjoyable during game for this. And also, it'll be interesting to hear the players talk about, hey, well, how does this guidance affect this person in passing this D20 test? So hearing them collaborate with each other and explaining why they suddenly pass through their magic is going to be an interesting thing, and I think it's going to create some good storytelling.